Good morning. So, I want to talk about what is the purpose of the spiritual awakening. So, where are we headed on this? Um, and from the place that I sit, I can see that we are actually rising into our higher selves. We're rising into the knowing that we are divine and connected. We're rising into the spirit and transcending the we're not transcending the ego because the ego remains, and the ego is a um, part of us that allows us to have this life experience. Without the ego, we cannot have the illusion of separateness. So we can't have that individual, unique personality and way of experiencing and reflection of our God essence. So all of that comes through the ego. You could see it as we are these higher beings that are connected to everything, and that we have um, higher purpose, which our higher purpose is just to be a pure representation of who we are, to be a representation also of our spiritual light that is flowing through us, but also of our physical light, of what we are, our unique being. You could see our ego as a filter. You could see it as um, a filter of which I flow through, and which allows me to have words and perception and memories and collaborations and unique perspectives and ways to look at things, and a collection of different experiences. And together combined, they create the illusion of who I am, or they sculpt the behaviors in which I behave, that and my pure nature that flows through me. So, this spiritual awakening is transcending the illusion and coming into that place of complete connectiveness at all times, and knowing that we are of this higher nature. And our higher selves are always there waiting for us to rise patiently and lovingly and knowingly. Our higher self is always there for us, always there waiting for us to arrive. So we can kind of take um, comfort in that, that we will always be there waiting for ourselves. And that wherever we are on the spiritual awakening is exactly where we need to be. We cannot be anywhere but other than where we are. Everything on the spiritual awakening, it is an evolving um, a revolving, what is the word that I'm looking for, experience, evolving experience. And that every single step is built on a previous step. So, in order for us to transcend and to rise above, we have to go through the experiences themselves, and receive the lessons from whatever it is. I know that I've spoke about this a lot, but it's just so important on understanding, because when you can understand this, then you can be um, easy with yourself and lenient with yourself and loving with yourself and patient with yourself. Because as we go through this, there's so many times that we get a lesson and we just go into that um, self. We are upset with our own selves, and then we can get stuck in that cycle of feeling down on ourselves, which only further hinders the evolvement. um, because when we are upset with ourselves, we don't we're stuck in that place of keeping ourselves in that lower vibration. And the lower vibration, the more dense the vibration, the closer we are to the physical elements. Because physical, what is physical? Everything is vibrating. Even this is, everything that is physical is a vibration. It's just the vibration is such a low vibration that it already is visible to the naked eye. It's already visible to, it already is getting a physical expression. So, whereas our words, for instance, it's also a vibration, right? We know it's a vibration. We have a sound box. We are creating this vibration, but the vibration to us is not visible because it's a high enough vibration. See, it's something that we are manifesting, right? And through the voice, you can see so much about the laws of the universe or laws of God or the way things work. Um, because we are manifesting words. It is a vibration. It is the same as manifesting substance, only it's not visible yet. But once we create words, we have created them already. We have sent them out into the universe. That's the magic of words, right? When you create words, you are manifesting something into, you are creating something into this physical realm. Only you can't see it, so you don't have the comprehension that it is there and that you have manifested it. You have manifested all of those vibrations and you've sent them out into, and that's the magic in words, how words create and manifest our existence. So when, again, coming back to words are magic. Words create and manifest things into the physical world. When we manifest words, we are manifesting their vibration into the physical world, and they are creating an impact within our lives. So when we can keep our mind coherent and keep our emotions coherent and keep the two aligned, then whatever we feel inside and whatever we speak and whatever is in our mind will create outer circumstances that match that exact thing. That's why it's so important for us to be able to align ourselves from within first. When we align ourselves from within, that's why all of the work in the spiritual journey is internal work. That's why all of the work, the most important work, is not what you do outside of yourself. It's when you align yourself with yourself, you're also aligning yourself to the divine. Whatever you are speaking is what you are feeling, is what your actions represent, is what is created and manifested in your life. So if you speak words of love, you will be surrounded by love. If you speak words of lack, you will be surrounded by lack. If you speak words of pure abundance, and you think abundant and you feel abundant, and all of those things are aligned, you will have pure abundance in your life. And really, when we are looking to manifest matter, I want this car, I want this home, I want this or that, whatever we're trying to manifest, I want this kind of relationship. Whatever we are trying to manifest in the world is an emotion, because if we have that, we will feel this specific way, and then we will be, it's typically we want to feel happy, we want to feel accepted, we want to feel a joy. We're reaching for these feelings. So when we are asking for something in the physical realm, it is because we interpret that as going to be able to give us this specific emotion. But if we have the emotion from the get-go, first of all, we don't have to reach for the emotion because we have it, and we have the capability within us to feel all of the emotions. All of the emotions live outside of us simultaneously, all around us. And it's a matter of connecting all of the vibrations and all of the different expressions all live around us. They have already been manifested. Otherwise, we could not conceive them. If we can conceive and ask, it means that it is already in existence. It's just a matter of connecting to it. So if we want to feel joy, we can connect to joy. Sometimes when there's a lot of clutter, like if you are in an area in a big city where there are a lot of different vibrations going on, and and there are, especially if you're in a big city where everybody goes to work and it's a bustle, and everybody's trying to living in that lack energy, then you are going to have a dense carpet of lack in vibration all around you. That's why it's so important to get out into nature, because nature is pure abundance. When you get out into nature and you remove all of the other vibrations, it is only abundance. There are plants coming up, and there is dirt, and there are stones, and there are mountains, and there's birds, and there's bees, and it is pure abundance, because to nature lack is unknown. There is no such thing as lack. There just is. If a plant is growing, it is. There is no minus a plant. So when you get out into nature, you can connect to that pure essence of the divine, and it's much easier to align to that and bring that back with you if you are living in an atmosphere where there's a lot of people with vibrating a lot of lack. Because also with people, we pick up on people's emotions, especially if we're empaths. We pick up on people's emotions much easier, because it's speaking our same language. They have the same mechanisms as we do. We're the same species. So it's much easier to converse, even vibrationally, with another human being, because you can understand their emotions, you feel their emotions, you feel their vibration. Whatever they're vibrating, you have the ability and capability of vibrating within yourself. So, oh, this is a good discussion. It started somewhere, it's going somewhere else, and I'm just allowing it to flow because it's such a good discussion. Um, and it's all relevant. Everything is always all relevant. These are all different kinds of tips and different kinds of ideas of how we can, of the spiritual awakening, part of the spiritual awakening, tips to the rising. And I know I use rising there. It could be expanding. It could be, rising is just a something comprehensive, words that are comprehensive, that can bring it into a resolution of understanding. So it's just the choice of words, but you can see it. If you see it energetically, you can see the expansion of it. I made myself some tea. Thank you for the divine intelligence that brought this tea into existence. There's got, and I used fresh mint. So I just want to close this off with what we started with what is this? What is the purpose of the spiritual awakening, and where are we headed with this? We are headed into a perception, a place where we are living the absolute heaven on earth, where we are living in this body and in this lifetime from from a level that is of your God essence. So then you are living your highest being is living through you. And when you can overcome all of the constraints of your ego that is telling you all sorts of stories that you are your ego, that you do have confinements, that there are things that are not available for you. If you have internet and you're able to watch this, you are already in a place of abundance, a place where if you are working on your spiritual journey, it's like I think that pyramid. What is it called? Um, I keep saying Aslo or something like that. There's the pyramid, where if you are at the very bottom of the pyramid, then you are in survival mode, and if you're at the very top of the pyramid, then you have already mastered, and you're already doing self work. And so you could see it as, if you are in a place where you're doing your self work, then you're in a very, very, very good place. And I know that the spiritual awakening is also very painful at times, but it must be. The pain is part of the rising. There cannot be rising. You cannot overcome who you think you are without the pain of laying your false self down to sleep. And in order to overcome your false self, it's like the ego death. You have to um, tame, rein in your own ego, and you have to be able to tell the story. You have to be able to tell the story of providence and the story of magnificence, and that magic is real, and that there is a higher plane that we can connect to, and it's holding that space always and living this life in this 3D zone from a place of your higher self. And then nothing is personal. You don't take anything personal. Everything is just as is. And you become very, very curious. And when you understand the laws of cause and effect, and you see that everything as is the way that it is because of reasons that always there's always reasons there. And when you can start to um, crack the code, or like you start understanding and really getting into the small um, resolutions, I'm going to say, but the the small details of existence, and you're able to see that everything happens for a reason and why it happens, then you can become the master creator in this 3D world. So I'm sending you guys so much love. Thank you for watching. This video kind of feels like it was all over the place for me, but there's a lot of very interesting points in there. So thank you for watching. Sending you guys so much love.